Hi everyone and welcome to a new trip report. Today's video covers a flight I took from Perth to Sydney on the new Virgin Australia 2.0 during COVID. Under the revised flying schedule, Virgin Australia was operating all flights out of Terminal 2 at Perth Airport. Once you enter the terminal, you're met with a line of manned check-in desks. Interestingly, I couldn't find any self-check-in kiosks. Down the far end of the terminal is the baggage collection area, and in the middle is a security screening which we'll pass through now. On the other side of security, you're met with a hand sanitizer station and some shops, and that's about it. Terminal 2 is essentially a fancy shed. There are a couple of dining options, but they were already packed, as was the rest of the terminal. Under the previous Virgin Australia setup, Perth flights would leave from Terminal 1 and also had Airbus A330s operating the route. Unfortunately, Virgin Australia no longer flies the A330 and Terminal 2 doesn't have any views from the holding shed. Today's flight was operated by a Boeing 737-800. At the front of the cabin and at the centre emergency exits are what Virgin calls Economy X seats. These are essentially extra legroom seats with some other minor perks. Here's my seat for the flight. I chose to sit down the back as it was further away from people, meaning I was more likely to have empty seats around me, plus I wouldn't be disturbing anyone while filming. Having a closer look at the seats, there's nothing remarkable about the Virgin Australia hard product. The seats have adequate legroom for my short legs and are wide enough to comfortably fit in within the armrests. The most annoying part of this plane was the scratched up and dirty windows, which made it difficult to get clear footage. The seats have a modest recline, and when I say modest, I mean very modest. Thankfully, Virgin Australia's configuration has overhead air nozzles as well as the standard reading lights. You may have noticed there are no seatback screens. Instead, Virgin Australia streams content to your smart device via Wi-Fi and their Virgin Australia Entertainment app. There were plenty of options to keep you entertained for the duration of the flight, as well as a window in case you didn't like anything. This is the new meal service. Prior to the reforms, passengers received a hot meal on this flight. But don't worry, they came around with more. The sun setting was the highlight of the flight and made for stunning views. As I watched this, I thought about how Virgin Australia had fallen. I used to be a big fan of VA, but a lot of what I used to love has now sadly disappeared. There are no more A330s or 777s, both of which had the impressive business class product and a more flexible economy seating. No more hot meals on longer domestic flights in economy either, and it's best not to mention what happened to the business class catering. I truly hope Virgin can recover and bring back what people loved about the airline. Arrival in Sydney was very different to Perth, with absolutely zero restrictions or precautions in place for domestic arrivals. I was out of the terminal within minutes and on my way home.